How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Great Ace Attorney Resolve Blind. So, last time, we finally nailed who the killer of Inspector Gregson was, and that was Judge Jigoku. And he fully confessed and everything. But Kazuma wants to figure out who the British counterpart is, and he believes that Von Zieks is still the Reaper, and he wants him to acknowledge all of his crimes. And Von Zieks said no. We're about to see how this is going to go. I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the assassin exchange.
Well, I mean, I agree. No, just kidding.
So, you deny all accusations brought by the prosecution, both that you were the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you masterminded the assassin exchange. I acknowledge that the public at large believe me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy which I alone am in a position to forswear. Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Can you stop saying my full name? Let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom?
My job?
A desire to uncover the truth. Because I'm a good man.
Because I'm a good
Even
man.
if the truth proves to be your client to be guilty.
Unfortunately, that is part of my job as well.
From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come out. So it's always my intention to work with my client in pursuit of the truth. I want you to remember what you just said. Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense, proceed to cross-examine the witness. Yes, my lord. I know exactly what you're thinking, Kazuma. I know you're just waiting to point it out. The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony. Yeah. Let's find out together. Friend. Hold it! So you're not what the general public refer to as the infamous Reaper of the Bailey. Exactly. Don't imagine for a moment that the court will be satisfied with a one-word answer on this. I fucking know.
Yeah.
If you're intending to comment on every sentence, this could take a while, Kazuma. Didn't you find it disturbing, though? That one by one, defendants who'd been acquitted after your unsuccessful prosecution were killed. Let me answer that question by posing another. If, one by one, defendants who'd been acquitted after your successful defense were killed, would you find that disturbing? Disturbing? I couldn't possibly say how that would make me feel with a one-word answer like that. Exactly. Well, that told me. But even though I'm not the Reaper, that doesn't mean I ignored all the hearsay. Hold it! You say for years. How long exactly? Since the very first time the Reaper's influence was felt in this courtroom. 10 years ago now. And your investigations led you somehow to Inspector Gregson, you're saying? I didn't want to believe it. He was a personal acquaintance. We worked on cases together in the past. A friend, even? It felt like a betrayal, but I demanded permission to search his office at the yard without his knowledge. Which is when you found his secret notebook, is it? It's when I first learned of the location he noted only as grouse and the appointment at 5 p.m. on the 31st. Though I didn't know the significance of those details at the time. So now we're at the nub of the matter. As it turns out, the significance for me, personally, was very unfortunate. Hold it! But why did you go to that specific location? I thought that God. I thought that it was the Reaper's headquarters. Then by turning up there at 5 o'clock, I would catch whoever was involved red-handed. Sadly, all that was awaiting me was the inspector's corpse. Yes, even though it wasn't designed for you, you walked straight into the trap set by Jigoku. Exactly. Jigoku had intended to implicate Hugh Boone. But unhappily for me, I arrived at the scene first. Ha! A ridiculously careless blunder. Moved on to just throwing insults around, I see then, Kazuma. Think what you will, it doesn't change the truth.
Hold it!
There is a link between you and Gregson, though. Of course, we were close acquaintances. We'd worked on numerous cases together. I considered the man to be a mentor of sorts. He taught me a number of important lessons. He did? Such as what? Where to buy good fish and chips, and such like.
That's pretty, fair enough.
That was convincing. Dr. Wilson was a coroner, of course, but that was some time in the past. And in any case, I understand it was several years ago now that he was invited to work at a Japanese university. That's right. He was a visiting professor at the Imperial Yuma University in Tokyo. It should be unambiguously clear, then, that no link exists between myself and him. In other words, I had no motive for sending some assassin across the oceans to kill the man. It sounds plausible enough, and I want to believe it. But something about this just doesn't quite sit right with me.
Hold it!
Certainly as it stands, there's no evidence to suggest that you concocted the scheme.
Objection!
What? But as it stands, we only have the accused's insistence of his innocence. Sorry? Perhaps there's some reason that would explain why he masterminded the assassin exchange. And if a reason could be established later in these proceedings, then the accused's claim in this testimony that he wasn't involved would amount to perjury. Well, yes, that's true, but nobody ever gets tried for perjury in this fucking game, so.
Exactly, we're immune. Clearly, Kazuma-sama intends to identify a reason and use it to make his case.
So if we don't identify something first,
He'll gain the advantage.
this could be dangerous. A convincing testimony by Lord Von Zieks.
Certainly with no apparent connection between the three men, there's no way to establish a motive. The testimony seems unassailable as far as I can see. Oh dear me, what a bleak expression.
I agree, there doesn't appear to be any particular link between them, at first glance. But with the inclusion of one other person, I must be overthinking it, surely.
Another person, Mr. Naruhodo?
I need to think back over all the information we've gleaned so far.
All right, and I'll review my notes about the case and all the evidence in the court record.
Could it be the Lord Von Zieks is something to hide after all?
Maybe.
Alright, so I think this is our statement. No common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson.
Yeah.
What links then? Oh. Now that makes sense. Dr. Wilson was the one who carried out the procedure for the autopsy
Oh.
for Von Zeke's brother. Okay. So that's the thread between him and Dr. Wilson. That makes sense.
Objection!
What is this? An autopsy report. Wait. This is 10 years old, from the autopsy of Lord Clint Von Zeeks. What? My brother's autopsy report. Cletus? I'm pleased to see that the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth. Cosma, shut up until I'm finished.
I'm talking.
Order in the court. What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, counsel? This, the autopsy report of the professor's final victim, is an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant. Not that accursed name again. The professor. I personally researched all of the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victim's souls. And for a member of the aristocracy like Lord Clint Von Zeeks, it was unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure.
And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document.
As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Asugi was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that vital clue behind. Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord Von Zeeks here to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court. A marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true. What? Could the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated? If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death. That's outrageous! And now, 10 years later, for some reason the secret has been threatened and needs protecting. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange.
Gasp.
Order at once! 10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer, to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain. Whatever the cost.
Whatever the cost, you say.
You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled to toast this vengeful Nipponese's tenacity of purpose here. However, he who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer. Come on, Kazuma, you know this won't wash. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see that without evidence. That's nothing more than a wild accusation. As it happens, I have evidence. What? As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruited to kill Seishiro Jigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth. What truth? The truth about the evidence, and he acknowledged what I'd already deduced. There's a closely guarded secret about what went on in that autopsy 10 years ago. What? A secret? I know nothing of any secret. While we waited for my supposed mark in Jigoku's cabin, I drew my clan's illustrious sword, Karuma, before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was. Right, I see. You're that Asugi young lad, are you? God, it's been forever since I got a fucking
We
voice.
miss you.
And what? You're gonna calm me down with that thing? Is that it? I'm gonna ram that up your butthole. That will very much depend on the answers you give to my questions. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. The truth. That's all. Before we get into it, let me make one thing clear. I still believe your father was the professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately back then, we didn't have the evidence that we needed to make the crime stick. So, you admit it then. The evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated. It was for the good of the country. Anyway, I was just following orders. Orders? What exactly did you do? Speak. I'm not saying another word. Even if your life depends on it. That's right. Even then.
Oh.
And then I killed him. So that's when the tip of the sword broke.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
And the results of Clint Von Zeke's autopsy were fabricated. Then the investigating officer, Gregson, and the lead coroner, Wilson, must have known about it. And they can only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Barack Von Zeeks. In other words, the defendant did have cause to organize the exchange of assassins. Exactly, and as was established earlier, it has to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange. So it follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom today, Barack Von Zeeks. This is actually fucking dumb.
Objection!
Kazuma Asugi. What? What you just told the court. Are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for the trial 10 years ago? I heard it with my own ears. His shameful admission. In that case, I know the name of the Reaper.
Oh shit.
What? What? Lord Von Zeeks? I gave no such orders. I know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities to one. I'm about to drop a fucking nuke on this courtroom. If Lord Von Zeeks isn't the one behind all this, then yes, there is only one other person who could have done something like that. I believe I know who it is too. You... I just had a feeling his name was gonna come up. The true identity of the infamous Reaper of the Bailey is... Let's
Strong
fucking
heart.
go. It's
Strong
Iris.
heart.
It was me the whole time.
It was me. I'm actually a villain.
Alright, you motherfucker. It's time.
We taking you down. Oh my god.
The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy results is the Lord Chief Justice himself, Lord Male Strongheart.
God, what a heavy
What?
fucking accusation.
Lord Strongheart? He's like, what?
What?
Yes, it's true that 10 years ago, the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court. But he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint Von Zeeks, had been killed. He's like, who am I going to murder next?
He's that dog meme. The eyes closed.
Yeah, he really is.
He's like,
I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in British judicial history.
It's not a joke, my lord.
Well, Lord Von Zeeks? 10 years ago, I was very new to my profession. But I had a burning desire to avenge my brother's death, so I pleaded for control of the case. investigation to that point. The supplication of the lords to allow my brother's corpse to be examined. All the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I've spent my life since then believing I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial. But I see now. I was very much mistaken. It was a hugely influential force that caused the inspector and coroner to break the law 10 years ago. And that same force was still felt a decade later on the other side of the world by Seishiro Jigoku. Lord Strongheart, everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey. The court awaits your response, my lord. This may very well go down in British judicial history, but I assure you, it is no joke. Consider this a formal accusal by the defense. What are you gonna say, buddy? It doesn't
Oh my
warrant a
God.
response.
We already tried that.
A formal accusal. Yeah, fuck you. Guilty. Yeah. A formal
Guilty.
accusal. Don't be absurd. The defense's claims are utter nonsense, a wild fantasy at best. You're not gonna defend yourself? Also, how the fuck are we gonna get him on the stand? Because he's the
That's
judge.
what I'm saying, like...
You claim there was some wrongdoing in Lord Clint von Zieg's autopsy. That's utterly untrue.
Objection!
But I heard it from Gregson's own lips. He admitted to it. And where is your evidence? Damn. What? Gregson's dead now. Unless you were to think of summoning a ghost to the stand. You mean to say... I forget how the system works in your little backwater country.
Damn.
But in the course of the British Empire, without evidence, there is no case.
Ooh.
I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything. Ugh. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking kill you! Order in the court. Following Inspector Gregson's murder and in the light of Dr. Wilson's death as well, there's really no one left who can testify about the events of 10 years ago, is there? So that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange.
That's
This
crazy.
court has no business raking over the coals of a case that was concluded a decade ago. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied.
Wow.
I take it there are no objections. This is the first time we've really had, like, a judge as our...
Yeah,
opponent,
I
think.
know.
Kazuma. I mean, there's someone you can kind of equate to a judge in spirit of justice that you go against, but
Yeah.
it's not really the same. He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do now? Is there no other avenue we can go down in pursuit of the truth about what happened all those years ago? If only there was someone who could testify about Clint von Zieg's autopsy. Well, there's gotta be someone.
Yeah,
I don't know who.
definitely.
He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks, even so far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to ensure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Sight won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one ray of hope.
Objection!
Actually, there is one person. One person who could still testify about the autopsy. Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left. Who, Ryunosuke? Who? Tell me. Kazuma, Please, this trial can't end. Not yet. I'm not doing this for you.
Ooh.
I'm doing it for the truth. Actually, I'm going to sleep. The person the defense would like to call to the stand to testify about the autopsy of Lord Clint von Zieks is...
Would it be Mr. Mikatoba?
It would be, because he was the person who penned the report in the first place.
Yeah.
Take that!
Damn, ending this on Susato's father? Also, what the fuck? Heaven help us, another Japanese.
Jesus.
An expert in forensic medicine, my lord. Professor Eugene Mikotoba, 16 years ago. He came to London with Seishiro Jigoku and Genshin Asogi as a visiting student. And what could his testimony possibly tell us?
Professor Mikotoba was the primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report.
Incorrect. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature.
It was the primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure. In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it.
In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish. The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be summoned as a witness as a matter of urgency. Whatever really happened in that autopsy laboratory 10 years ago is something only he can tell us. The defense's demand is denied. Wow, he is
Okay.
not giving a single fuck. He's denying us and everything. What?
But Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment. We could summon him to stand in minutes.
No, of course he's not going to agree to it. Strongheart has no intention of summoning anyone who knows.
This is so
He's about
fucked up.
protecting himself. And he's actually being a smart villain. He's actually exercising his authority correctly. Prosecutor Asugi, let me refresh your memory, as you seem to have forgotten your prosecution's stance. Only minutes ago, you accused the defendant of being the Reaper and masterminding the assassin exchange. I did, yes. So present your evidence for those claims and make your case complete. I
Oh my god.
At this time, I don't have the requisite evidence, but that's exactly why we need to the witness testimony. The professor case is closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your argument today.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Asugi, that you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your late homicidal father. Now, as I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with respect to the matter at hand. Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge Seishiro Jigoku. As for any hidden circumstances that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
Objection!
But we all know what will happen. That'll just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover his tracks again. By which you mean me. Yeah, you! Your punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later
What?
date. As for you, Prosecutor Asugi...
You didn't
what is
even
it
let
you
us go
imagine?
through with it, you bastard. So why am I getting in trouble?
You will be remanded following these proceedings. Willingly, I trust, since you gave your word.
Shut the hell your mouth, bitch.
This futile game of revenge is over. Young Master Asugi. Damn. Wah!
Oh god.
It's like the game just ends.
Yeah.
That will be all. I hereby declare this trial to be over. Motherfucker. Yep. Who else would it be?
Hello, my man.
Mr. Sholmes? This is no place for amateur direction. Detection, Mr. fucking Sholmes. Yep. May I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public. You will leave this courtroom at once.
Objection!
Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Seishiro Jigoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say. Lord Mel Strongheart,
He's like, did I miss something? Or
is it imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage? Because you're about to get fucking put in the ground? Is it
I'm
really?
not hella
Why
strong.
would that be? You need only recall your own words from the opening of the trial to answer that question, if I may. We will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. Surely it can't be that the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory, can it? The whole truth, sir, has already been uncovered. No. It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today. I put it to you, my dear fellows, should the trial end at this juncture? After all, why have you been invited to attend? To nod along to the prevarications of your superiors? Oh, he's speaking to the series. Order in court. Seems to me we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices. A door that's ajar. Let us emerge from the shadows of the Reaper's decade-long ascendancy. For you and you alone, my dear fellows, have the power to push this door open now. The auditors in the gallery that have no rights to express an opinion on this court proceedings. Silence! He's right. The judge has absolute authority here.
Oh my god. Who said that? Kill that guy.
A man calls a trial to a fucking end, but will that really do?
I sense dark things occurring behind the scenes.
Yes.
Dark things indeed.
Make that person the judge.
What's
the last guy?
Trial should go on. Summon the witness.
No, we actually we need to quill the shell before the young Japanese fellow is reprimanded in custody. My lord, you assured those present that you want to cover the whole fucking truth here, and you should do so at this very moment.
Yeah, the truth is the whole truth and nothing but the fucking truth. That's the foundation of British law.
You don't even sound like you're from here.
A toast to my dependable colleagues of the gallery.
Oh, they're all colleagues in there? That's kind of
Yeah, on with the trial.
Testify! Testify!
Yeah, testify, you fucking bastard.
Well, my lord, you hear the voice of British justice, I take it.
Damn, Shams is like, I'm such a badass, dude.
He is. Well, I think you're finding it'll be rather awkward to silence. The court will recess briefly.
Yeah, enough time for you to fucking run.
Yeah, I have no intention of shrinking from these allegations. Bailiff, arrange for the subpoena of the witness at once. As soon as the gentleman arrives at the courthouse, we shall reconvene. A recess will be necessary, my lord. Pardon? Mikatoba is a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today and is waiting in the antechamber as we speak. I do believe he's been enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact. What? Professor Mikatoba's here in the courthouse? Mr. Sholmes, you didn't know this would happen, did you? My dear fellow, no one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely. I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know. Well, I must thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes. However, you are of no further use here. Kindly leave the courtroom at once. But of course, in truth, I find myself rather busy now as a result of these developments. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? I trust you have Iris's little lucky charm with you. Absolutely. It's still in my pocket. She sends her regards and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, ears are at your disposal. Just one tug, if you please. Of course. In that case, the trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand. So is Lord Strongheart. He's the Reaper of the Bailey. Where exactly is this trial going to take me, I wonder? Just how deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom and confront whatever horrors it tries to drown me under. To continue. Oh shit.
It's getting really
final
intense up in
act.
here.
It is. Alright. And I think that's the perfect place to stop.
Oh,
So next
shit.
time on the Great Ace Attorney Resolve, we're gonna summon Susato's father to the stand, and he's gonna testify what went down in that autopsy report and link us to Male Strongheart. And we'll probably bring him down once and for all. Holy crap. That confrontation was awesome.
Yeah. That was really good.
So, as always, if you all enjoyed and want to show some love and support for the series and the channel, you know what to do. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you all in the next episode.